Good morning. Just got out of the shower, coffee's on. Slept until 9:30 because I couldn't get to sleep last night. My son and grandson came over for a lovely visit, and we spent the afternoon drinking coffee and conversing and playing a few games, and it was great. But then when I went to bed, it was a bit of a toss and a turn. So I finally got to sleep. Here we go, let's go center. I finally got to sleep, and but I slept in. I was going to go to Costco this morning and scout things out. We're running low on cream, but it's not imminent. We can both drink our coffee black if it comes to that and be almost as happy. Cream is a treat. But I decided to hold off and give another day or two for the insanity to die down. The trucking industries and the delivery industries, they're still operational. So supplies are being shipped in. Stores will restock. I'm not too worried about that, because use your head, people. So I'm going to hang about. I might go for a walk. It's supposed to be up to about 8 degrees today, but it's also supposed to be rainy. Weather report from Rachel. Seems like all old people talk about is the weather, isn't it? So I will be doing abs in the basement today again. I've been in two minds about filming it because it's pretty boring, but I may turn on the camera and just, compress it like I did before, cut out the boring bits. There's almost no equipment involved. You can do abs anywhere, anytime, just by yourself. But I probably, for interest's sake, I probably will use the bouncy ball and, a few free weights. Why not? With nothing much to do in the way of vlogging, I mean, we're kind of locked down and staying inside, although I was going to go for a walk. I ended up not. And I worked out in the basement, but, endless crunches basically, and that's pretty boring. I did use bouncy ball and, the body gym, resistance bands, but a crunch is a crunch is a crunch. So I thought I'd carry on with a truck driving story. Another one, because I was thinking of my friends and my co-workers, and we had some really good times. Oftentimes we used to run down the road in a convoy, not a huge one, just a few Pure Later drivers, maybe other companies would fall in if we knew them, and or invite themselves, and you'd get to know them, and we'd end up running down the road together and chatting away on the CB radio, because that makes the time pass. My friend Greg, he when I was doing Anjou, I think he was doing St. Pierre, so he used to come up the 20 from Dorion, and I used to be coming down in the 40, and I'd see him on the lower road going along, and or he'd see me, and we'd, hey, who's that, and hey, and we'd run down the road together. And one hot summer night, he's in front of me. He was our pathfinder, and we're chirping along and whatnot, and all of a sudden a fine mist starts to spread over my windshield, and I thought, what the hell is this? And then it what the hell, did he pee out the window? Because he was like that. He just, you never knew what the guy was going to do, because he was that kind of person, still is, I imagine. Hi, Greg. I see you. Anyway, I'm rolling up the window like crazy, go, what the hell are you doing? I'm right behind you, geez, man, control yourself. Well, it turned out it was just just some bottled water that he had, that he was, he sprinkling out the window to get my goat. And of course, when we got back to the hub, he, you know, came out around his tractor and actually did relieve himself on my tire, and I couldn't do anything about that except, you know, scream and complain, and everybody had a good laugh. But good morning. So I'm off to brave Costco this morning. I checked online last night. They're not open till 10 o'clock, which I would have preferred to get an early start, but here I am. I've got my mask in the bag that spouse has given me and cautioned me several times to wear. I've seen several people on the street with masks, and that actually makes me feel a little good, because I am in the risk. I am in the risk group, being in my 60s, and further, I am very susceptible to pneumonia and respiratory infections. That's the real reason I'm nervous, not really because of my age group, because I am fairly healthy this year, but I hate to say it, but this should put it to the test. But we're running out of a few things, and on top of the fact that I just don't like crowds of people, I'm hoping that there won't be crowds of people because of the virus, and then I'll take precautions against the virus. I'm waiting at the lights here at Rutherford. It's not too bad. Of course, that could be the time of day. But I'm looking over at the parking lot of Palladium and Shoeless Joe's and all that, and you could shoot a cannon through there and not hit anybody. I think there's 2 cars and 1 moving. All right, people are still stocking up on toilet paper and whatnot. Okay, that's a no-go. I'm not even gonna get out of the fucking car. They're lined up around the fucking building at 10 o'clock in the morning. My sister-in-law said they were limiting the amount of people in the store, but seriously, gonna stand in line, you know, elbow, cheek to jowl, you know, in line, and then be limited into the store? I mean, what's the point of that? There's no fucking way. And I've got my mask here and everything. I was all set. Primarily, I figured I'd wear the mask just to keep people away from me. But, yeah, okay, yeah, the insanity is still going on, so I'm going home. Fuck it. I'll drink my coffee black and I'll eat eggs until the cows come home. People. Seriously, I couldn't catch it on camera, but there was one old guy trotting out there, you know, with his arms full of toilet paper. Seriously, the boomers should know better. I mean, we grew up, I thought, with more sense, but I guess not. Maybe the 60s hit some people harder than others. Oh well, it's a nice drive. I'll roll down the window now. Put my mask away for another day. There's my mask. Spouse gets them for his work, so he left me a couple with a note saying, wear that mask. So spouse, I would have, but there's no way I'm standing in line to go into a grocery store. Not unless I'm starving, and I'm not starving. Yeah, that lineup was horrendous. I couldn't get close enough to get a good shot of it, but it was around the building, and that's a bloody big building. I'm not, that makes no sense at all. I mean, I've been to Costco when Costco is pretty well always crowded. And that's really what bothers me the most is the crowd. So there's no bloody way I'm going to stand in line for it. That's insanity. Well, here I am back in the driveway. That was a nice little tour about town to Costco and back. God. Crazy times.